Imagine standing in a roaring arena, 50,000 Romans screaming for blood. A gladiator enters, his armor gleaming under the hot Mediterranean sun. He knows today could bring either fame, wealth, or a violent death. For Romans, these games were more than entertainment. They symbolized power, control. The gladiator's life was brutal, yet strangely celebrated across the empire. Origins of gladiators. The gladiatorial tradition began not in Rome, but in ancient funerals. Wealthy families forced slaves to fight, honoring the dead with bloodshed. Over time, this ritual transformed into a spectacle of mass entertainment. By the Republic's height, gladiator games filled arenas from Sicily to Gaul. Emperors expanded them, ensuring loyalty by giving citizens bread and blood. Training and schools. Gladiators were trained in special schools known as Ludi Gladiatorii. These schools were harsh, resembling military barracks with strict daily routines. Recruits endured brutal drills, weapon practice, and relentless physical conditioning. Masters called lanisti owned the gladiators, treating them as investments. Some gladiators were volunteers, chasing fame, money, or freedom through combat. Others were condemned criminals, slaves, or prisoners of war from campaigns. Despite suffering, training offered discipline, diet, and sometimes surprising medical care. Doctors specialized in treating cuts, broken bones, and sword wounds efficiently. For many, the arena promised a better life than slavery's toil. Gladiator schools became both prisons and gateways to unimaginable public glory. Types of gladiators. Not all gladiators were alike. Rome loved variety in deadly combat. The Murmillo fought with heavy shields and short Roman gladii swords. His rival, the Retiarius, used a trident and weighted casting net. Audiences thrilled when fast, lightly armored fighters faced heavily protected opponents. The Secutor wore smooth helmets designed to counter the nimble Retiarius. The Thraex carried curved blades and square shields of Thracian design. Exotic warriors came from conquered lands. Nubians, Gauls, and Syrians all appeared. Costumes highlighted cultural stereotypes, making battle spectacles of Rome's global conquests. Each match felt unpredictable, as unique styles clashed in tactical duels. Variety kept crowds entertained and craving ever more elaborate, bloody displays. Life and fame. Successful gladiators became celebrities, adored like modern athletes or film stars. Women admired their strength. Graffiti shows gladiators worshipped as heartthrobs. Merchants sold souvenirs, oil flasks, figurines, and paintings of famous fighters. Poets praised their courage, while aristocrats secretly envied their raw masculinity. Victorious gladiators earned money, gifts, and sometimes wooden swords of freedom. This rudis symbolized release, transforming once enslaved men into respected free citizens. Yet even free gladiators often returned, addicted to fame and applause. Rome's obsession blurred the line between heroism, slavery, and public spectacle. Though mocked socially, gladiators lived lives most commoners could only dream. Their names echoed in amphitheaters, etched into history with blood and steel. The arena and death. The Colosseum, Rome's largest amphitheater, could hold 80,000 roaring spectators. Battles unfolded on sand, carefully designed to absorb endless streams of blood. Trumpets signaled the start, while priests blessed the spectacle as sacred ritual. Gladiators saluted the emperor, though the famous phrase is likely misunderstood. Fights varied, sometimes duels, sometimes staged reenactments of myth and conquest. Death was not guaranteed, but it lurked in every brutal strike. A fallen gladiator awaited judgment, thumbs up or down from the crowd. Contrary to myth, emperors often spared skilled fighters for future battles. Still, thousands perished, their lives fueling Rome's hunger for entertainment. Blood bound the empire together, proving Rome's dominance over life itself. Decline of gladiator games. By the late empire, gladiator games began losing their brutal shine. Rising costs burdened emperors, and Christianity condemned blood sports as immoral. Bishops preached against the games, calling them spectacles of sin and cruelty. The growing faith shifted public taste toward less violent amusements and rituals. Gladiatorial schools closed, and arenas were repurposed for ceremonies or housing. The Colosseum itself later hosted chariot races, mock naval battles, and plays. By the 5th century, gladiators had vanished, remembered only in fading graffiti. Rome's fall mirrored the end of its most violent traditions of control. Yet their legend never disappeared, inspiring countless artworks, plays, and modern films. Even today, the word gladiator symbolizes struggle, sacrifice, and relentless pursuit of glory.